Do you know what? Racism. That's all it is. You're all a bunch of racists. That's why. The Traitors episode 4, 5 and 6 breakdown. Let's go. So where we left off last episode, the group got a traitor out. They got Armani out. And we're left now with the two traitors. And they've decided either between Freddie, Charlotte or Maya. Anyway, so everyone comes down for breakfast. Tyler straight in there with, I think it's Freddie. It's 100% Freddie. Freddie's like whispering to this person, Freddie, saying to this person, Freddie. He's literally just gang leader on Freddie. Also, they ain't letting the Kaz thing go, which at this point is really starting to wind me up. So lo and behold, we find out Freddie and Charlotte have walked in. That means another sister down. That's Maya, gone, dead. And then again, Tyler's in it with like, oh, watch Freddie. Freddie's reaction. Freddie. And I do feel sorry for Freddie because in this moment, he knows he's being set up by the traitors, innit? So there seems to be this bit of a group that's formed, right? Between Tyler, Livy, Leanne and Leon, right? And they seem to just confer with each other. Livy is fully placed up Tyler's backside. Like she's sat on the second shelf. But they all sort of listen to each other and they're all saying, no, I think we should all go for Freddie. They've made this alliance, Freddie. And poor Kaz is having a tough time because he really is feeling the pressure of everybody thinking he's a traitor when he's clearly not. And they think he's a traitor. Why? Because he's nice, he's smart, and he's a doctor, and also because he's brown. And then Lisa brings up this point about Anna. She started throwing Anna's name into the ring. But the reasonings are so dumb is because Anna was didn't tie the rope. You know when they had the boat challenge, she didn't tie the rope properly. Then she went over here and didn't tie it to the right post. And then, I'm sorry, who knows about that unless you're an actual sailor person? Anyway, so Dan brings up the Anna thing because he was the one talking to Lisa about Anna. He starts to throw Anna's name in the ring. Anyway, it's challenge time and guess who's back? Alexander, Jack and Fawzia. So they're not entirely back. They're in cages and in order to open the cage, the group have to run around and there's sacks placed all around the woods and they've got to get these £50 coins and deposit in front of the person they want to save. However, the person that they save also has the option to gift a shield. Now, I really like Fawzia, and the one thing she made a point in saying, save me, because remember, I was the first person to get off the train. I just got off. I didn't care. So I deserve to be back in the game. And it turns out Alexander and Fawzia get saved. Now, I'm gutted for Jack because I genuinely liked him. I really wanted him to go through. I thought he was funny. He had banter. He was a Yorkshire lad. He just seemed like he'd be such a good character. And let's face it, we haven't got a lot of good characters this year. And what bothers me more than anything is the amount of stress he would have had to go through the entire audition process, right? All of this promo PR stuff, doing the show, just putting your life on hold to come and do the show, and then they kick you out and they don't even let you on the actual show. Like, surely Claudia said that you can only be banished or murdered. However, they've decided this year, actually, we're just going to kick you off the show, which I just don't think it's fair. So I think the showrunners, the producers, you massively effed up there. I think it's wrong, but you know, they do what they want to do. Now, Fawzia and Alexander have come back, but the group don't know whether they came back as traitors or faithful. They came back as faithfuls, but the group doesn't know that. Now, I'm really liking Fawzia. I'd liked her from the start. I mean, the minute that I saw the girl's picture, I thought, do you know what? Hijabi's sister from Birmingham, she's one of us. I'm going to support her sister all the way. And I really think she's living up to it. Like, there's something smart about her. She's sharp. And she's talking to Linda, and she's a bit like, Linda, you're giving me dodgy vibes, love. Anyway, Tyler is adamant that, you know, it's Freddie, or he's not sure if it's Freddie, now he's sure it's Kaz, and he's just mouth. They're all sat in the room, but the girls come outside and they hear it, and they're like, well, he's been saying Freddie all day, now he wants to pick someone else, I don't get it. Also, when you eavesdrop on a conversation, you only get part of the story. So if at one point Freddie is saying, I heard Anna's name was brought up, but I don't know why. And Anna's like, oh, he said my name. Why is he saying my name? Why is it? Well, no, that's not what he said. He said he heard her name brought up and he doesn't understand why, but you only heard part of the conversation. So the next scene, oh my God, this scene broke my heart. Do you know the reason why it bothered me so much?
They think it's bloody... Oh, I can't even say.
I was talking about him. Look at him come in with his plate.
Oh, sorry.
And he leaves. Oh, and they didn't even tell him to stay. Like, no, don't worry about it.
Really not wanted to talk to me about anything. Oh. If you want me to leave, I'll just leave. And that's not the first time it's happened. So, yeah, I'm isolated. But I know
look at him. We're looking for somewhere to eat.
Kaz thinks I was on about him.
Oh, I just think it's so awful. Like, the fact that they're making it personal. They're ganging up on him, like, as a group. And, like, there's cliques and stuff. Anyway, so it's round table time. And Dan brings up Anna. And Lisa mentions Anna as well. And I've got to say, she hasn't said anything much, but she actually held her own. She was like, I'm not a sailor, so what do you want me to do about it? And also, shut up. And then the Kaz bashing starts. Everybody starts to go in. Jake, obviously, Kaz, I don't get it. Why, Kaz. And do you know one thing he says? Because everyone's like, well, why don't you have a theory? And he's like, how can I have a theory when all the heat's been on me? Who's spoken to me? No one's spoken to me. No one's left. No one's given me any conversation where I can say. And do you know what? I actually noticed in the last episode, he wasn't in any of the conversations. Why? Because they were leaving him out, you bunch of bullies. And I blame everyone. I blame everyone because you are complicit in the bullying. And Fawzia, oh, my girl Fawzia, she stands up and she's like, well, you are making this personal then, because if you've not given him a chance to talk to any of you lot, you're making it personal. Everyone's like, oh, Kaz, like, Leon's like, well, why would Armani say that you're 100% faithful? I think you're her voice. But Dan's the only one that's like, no, I just think Armani copied other people. I genuinely don't think Kaz is a traitor. Anyway, so Livy, who hasn't said barely 3 words in the entire series, has now decided to pipe up and start talking about Freddie and the fact that he murdered Maya and it'd be a good alibi, but you'd be stupid to do that. Anyway, so the votes start coming out and a lot of people start mentioning Anna. I mean, the votes start counting up. Obviously, naturally, Joe's like, Kaz, I'm going to vote for you because you're Asian. And then obviously Freddie starts to get votes because, you know, Tyler and his little cronies, they all started voting for Freddie. However, Tyler himself decides, I ain't voting for Freddie, I'm voting for Kaz. So Leanne and Livy are livid. Did feel so sorry for Freddie in this moment. Like, the kid was genuinely mortified and upset. It was awful. Anyway, so the deciding vote goes to Mina, who decides that Kaz has got to go. Mina and Kaz is banished. Watch this.
Who'd have thought you'd have caught me based on a twinkle in the eye?
Look at them all getting egged on. Look at Jola. We got in.
On the first round table, I was selected.
They're well excited. They're like, oh, we got a traitor.
To be a faithful.
Oh my God.
Ah, you mugs.
I knew it.
Mugs.
Every time I defended him.
Mugs. I mean, at this point, even Claudia's like, what's wrong with you? Are you thick? Well, she didn't say that, but that's what she should have said. And then Dan, do you know, I'm really starting to like Dan because he had my man Kaz's back. But I do also like Dan because I just think he says things when they need to be said now as well. I thought he was a bit of a gobshite before, but I think he actually just calls people out. He's fully like, listen, you all just went on an assumption, he wouldn't let it go. And then naturally Joe's like, but the whole game is about assumptions. I don't understand why you're having a go at me. And then Livy starts crying. I just need to get out of here. Anyway, the girls go off on Tyler because they're like, why did you tell us to vote for Freddie or like go hard for Freddie and then you voted for Kaz? Anyway, when it comes to shield giving time, Dan has a very clever thing. He says, don't tell anyone who you're giving a shield to because then the traitors don't know. Anyway, Leanne ends up getting the shield from Fawzia. I can't remember who got the other shield, but it's not relevant. Traitors meet up and they decide, well, we can't murder anyone because we don't know where... Oh, Mina gets the other shield. Yeah, Mina gets one. But they don't know where the other shield is. So Mina's got one, but they don't know where the other shield is. So they're like, well, we can't murder someone because what if we murder someone with the shield? So they decide they need to recruit another traitor. Freddie, Anna, or Fawzia. Now, bear in mind, they're not recruiting another traitor for the sake of having one. They're recruiting this person to sacrifice because Freddie's already got heat on him. To sacrifice him. Anna's got heat on her, and then Fawzia, she's new, so they just assume she's a traitor, so throw somebody under the bus. So anyway, it turns out it's Anna, and she doesn't say yes. She says no. She's like, listen, I know what you're doing. You're trying to sacrifice me. I ain't going. I ain't joining. Which means no murder, which means everybody's turning up. Breakfast the next day, they all realise that no one's been murdered because everyone walks in. And Dan makes an interesting point saying, I think the traitors tried to murder Leanne. Didn't know she had a shield. There you go. And that saved the traitors a little bit. Also, Anna stays quiet about being recruited so nobody knows there was recruitment. So then it's conversation time and Anna brings up that she thinks it's Lisa because there's something weird. Like, why would she talk about God? So now, if you talk about God, that must mean you're a traitor. Okay, so now things start getting interesting because Mina starts to talk to Freddie and goes, there's a bit of a click, right? Now, this is where the games are starting. Mina's on it. Anyway, Dan brings up to Charlotte and Alex that I think it might be Tyler. Next up, they do a challenge, and honestly, I'm getting sick of these challenges. They're just meaningless. Like, they must be fun for you guys, but there's no jeopardy for me. There's no like, oh my God, what's going to happen? It's literally just a bunch of people playing. And bravo for you lot. I'm glad the cast had fun, but for me, don't care. Leon and Leanne win a shield. Meh, don't care. Anyway, so Linda and Fawzia have a conversation, and Fawzia's a bit like, well, I don't know why you and Lisa went first, you know. we would have volunteered. And Linda's just fuming at Fawzia. And she's like, she's got to go. She's got to go. Just because Fawzia's like, well, it's got to be one of you two, surely. Anyway, now this is where it gets interesting. Best bit of the episode. So Freddie brings up the fact that there's a bit of a click. Where he heard that word was from Mina. But obviously, he's thought it's his own idea. And then the clique start shouting at him about the fact that they're not a clique. But we're not a clique. What do you mean we're a clique? What do you mean? We're not a clique though. And then they all gang up on Freddie. The poor kid, again, some of them leave the room and then and then Livy's fully going off on Freddie about like, why? I don't understand. Freddie's making a point saying that surely one of you lot, because you're a close group, you've kept that close group, one of you lot's got to be it. That's what I'm trying to say. But Livy ain't hearing anything, right? She's popping off, screaming and shouting. Honestly, she wouldn't even give him a chance to speak. And then when Livy goes off crying, she's really, really upset. Which this entire episode is just Livy being upset. Mina sat there like, ooh, cause some drama. Any drama is good for the traitors. I did feel so sorry for Freddie because he's going through the Kaz situation again, innit? Well, Freddie, Leanne and Leon start discussing that they might be Tyler. And then Dan's just like, yeah, we're going for Tyler. This year, the group all seem to like just collectively name one person. They're not split. They're just like, right, we're going to vote for this person. This is who we're going for. And Tyler's like, listen, I'm going in confident as pie. I've got great friends. I'm doing great. I look good. Livy's up my backside. I'm doing fine. Famous last words. So round table time, Leon brings up Tyler. Leanne brings up Tyler. It's like, look, I think we're close, Tyler, but I think it's you. And Tyler's like, we're not close, mate. Not a fan of Jake, but that's still tight. Anna brings up Lisa and the fact that she was bubbly. I mean, clutching at straws here, love. But also Leanne's like, well, when I told you that I had a shield, you were like, oh. Well, I'm sorry. Do you know, none of these lot are honest and they're so thick as a group that they just grasp at anything. I'm sorry, I love you guys if you're watching this, but you are a bunch, you're thick. And I ain't saying I would do any better, just saying you're thick. I've got to say, this is the face of the season. This is my face every time certain people are talking. Like,
I know, like, I think it'd break me a little bit if you stood up
look at his
there and
face.
said you're a bloody traitor. But he's very passionate and
honestly, you've known him for like barely a week or 2 weeks or something, right? I've got a carton of milk in the fridge that I've had a longer relationship with. Anyway, so Tyler starts crying and I just thought to myself, hold on, why are you crying for? Didn't you say to Maya that it's just a game, why is she crying? Well, why are you crying? Anyway, everyone starts to vote for Tyler, except Livy, obviously, because she's like, I can't do that. I'm going to be Freddie. Tyler. Anyway, so Tyler gets banished. Honestly, from all the banishments in probably all the seasons, I did not care about this one. I mean, Paul was another one, but this one, meh, bye. Oh, Livy's just so upset. At this point, I'm completely on the faithful side, not the traitors. I love showing you these clips because I love their faces. Look at her. My God, leave it out, love.
Faithful.
I love it. Sorry, I just love it. I love when they find out that they voted out of Faithful. I just love their faces. It must be really evil. Anyway, so Dan sat outside with Mina and he's like, look, Mina's my girl. She got my back. And I'm really liking Dan. Dan is off my list. Jake's like, listen, can't get over the Linda thing. Just, I'm obsessed with Linda. I go to bed at night and sometimes I just see Linda. Anyway, then Lisa decides that she's going to tell everyone that she's an ordained minister and that means she can't lie, even though she came on a show called Traitors. Like, that doesn't prove anything, love. Anyway, so the traitors meet up and they're like, we need to murder someone. They pick either Fawzia, Anna, or Livy. Can I just say, one thing I love about this show is the soundtrack and the sequences. Right, just watch this.
look, I love it.
Doing something unholy. Look how epic this sequence is. Honestly, that's brilliant. Doing something unholy. Stamp. Done. Anyway, so the next morning at breakfast, we find out it's Livy that's gone. Bye-bye, girl, bye. Honestly, I know I'm being really awful, but bye. And then everyone thinks it's Freddie again. I feel sorry for the kid because he can't catch a break. Anyway, so now Linda decides that she's going to do this big performance. And Leanne's like, why is she crying? Everyone's like, why are you crying? Even Mina's like, oh, she's been doing it a bit too much. Like, she's making herself look guilty, which she really is. But what I love is Leanne's like, why is she crying? And then she's like, are you right, love? I love it. I mean, I do like Leanne. I genuinely like Leanne, but that was just so two-faced. I love it. Okay, so the conversation, Freddie brings up Dan. And then Anna starts telling people that, you know, yeah, she got recruited. And Fawzia's like, well, why didn't you just say it yesterday? And then they started to bring up Linda and like the fact that she was really over dramatic. Play a game where they basically, it's like Duck Duck Goose, so they get selected. Again, these challenges are just dumb. 2 people get selected, they have to pick somebody's name, and if the person who's picked knows who picked them, they will win a shield, and if the other way around, it's just honestly dumb. Honestly, I don't even see the point of it. But they throw slime on the person that gets selected, right? Now, one thing I did notice was, at first, they dunked this. Honestly, Anna got fully covered in it. And by the end, they were just throwing a bit of them on their back. Some people didn't get it, some people did get it. And it's a bit of slime and gunk, just get over it. I don't know if Mina was doing acting or whether it was gameplay or whether it was thing, but she also was doing a bit too much. Like, oh, I've got it in my hair, I just didn't want it in my hair. But I don't know if that was gameplay, which would be very smart of her. Anyway, Leanne and Dan decide that they're going to get Mina, even though they're close to her, because then she wouldn't suspect her, which is brilliant. You're not going to go for someone who's just going to easily suspect you. So essentially, Dan, Charlotte, and Linda end up surviving, and they're the ones that get the shields. Now, this game thing throws everybody for a loop. Honestly, all hell breaks loose over a game. It's so dumb. Frankie's like, oh my God, I want to know who did it to me. Who did it to me? I mean, I kind of see why you would take it personal, because they stole the opportunity for you to get a shield. But at the same time, everybody was going to pick somebody, so get over it. Alex goes and tries to obviously, get in the good books by telling Frankie it was me, but doesn't say that Dan was the other one. And then Leanne goes and tells Mina that it was me and Dan. And Mina's like, oh my God, I'm just so upset. At this point, I do think Mina's putting it on, because I think she's thinking, oh, actually, I'm going to have to get Dan, and that's the only way I can get him without making myself look stupid because he's my mate. I've got to say he betrayed me. So that works. Anyway, round table time. Anna comes out with a confession about that she got recruited, and honestly, nah. And then all fingers start to point at Linda. Why were you crying, Linda? Linda, go on. Explain, Linda. And then Frankie starts going like, I just need to know who tried to put the thing on me because you're lying to me. And everyone's kicking off like, who did it to me? Which, it was a game. It was a game. And Dan just puts his hand up and goes, it was me. Look, listen, it was me. And they're like, but you lied. You're a liar. And he's like, well, yeah, what do you think we're doing in this game? Do you think we're here to tell the truth? And he makes an interesting point. Like, what's that got to do with the game? Like, me lying outside that to get a shield, it's got nothing to do with the fact that I'm a traitor. And that's why I just think the game didn't connect with what they were trying to grasp at. I'm saying to you, the group is thick. They don't seem to put logic together. They just go with what's obvious. Anyway, so Mina votes for Dan, which was a strategic, clever move. She did the whole crying thing as well, which is brilliant. Linda picks Fawzia, but it was Fawzia's face. Look at her face. She's like, why me? Give over. Linda's name starts coming up, but ultimately it's Dan that gets banished. I am gutted, because genuinely towards the end, I've really started liking him. The last couple of episodes, Dan was one of my favourites, and I think he was brilliant in the show. He played it well. He was entertaining. They're just getting rid of people. Like, honestly, I'm losing the will to watch this show. I mean, I'm still going to watch it, but I'm losing the will. And once again, I got to show you the reveal, because it's just brilliant.
I am.
What are you, Dan? Tell him. A. Faithful.
Faithful.
Look at him cutting. In that moment, even Claudia was like, what's wrong with you? Just got rid of a really good Faithful. Also, Francesca did a lot of crying without any actual tears. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The traitors get given a mission. They have to get a quill from the library, and they have to go into the bar and write the names on these gravestones on a picture of the 4 people they would like to play a deathmatch challenge. When I tell you, my heart was right lodged in my backside. I was standing up like this. Oh no. Because people were wandering about, and they're then going and writing the names. They're like, let's go to the bar. Well, they're writing the names in the bar. Oh my God, when I tell you, I was like, no, don't get caught. I don't know why. I mean, I love the traitors. I think I'm on the traitor side this year. So I was like, don't get caught. Anyway, so they get driven out. It's really fun watching that sequence, because they're like, where are we going? The 4 people that got selected were like, what are we doing? Where are we going? I think they thought genuinely the driver was kidnapping them, or they were going to get murdered. So it was Alexander, Leon, Fawzia, and Anna. Now, here's the best thing about it. Right, so they have 2 cards, right, that they have to look at. Nobody else can see these cards, right? Everyone's got a card. There's 1 life card in the entire game. So they have to swap cards around and try and hold on to the life card. This, obviously, there's only 1 life card in the entire game, so you're going to try and hold on to it, but you have to swap cards. And if you lose it, you lose it. Now, I do think it's very smart. Because traitors can pick themselves to go in the game, I think it's very smart because these are going to suspect, the 3 surviving people are going to suspect that there was definitely a traitor in there. However, what my thing was if Linda or Mina had picked themselves and then they were the last ones out of the game, they wouldn't get murdered, would they? So then that would mean that they would turn up. So instantly everyone would know that they're traitors. So I don't understand how this game would have worked to put a traitor in there, but I don't think the group's intelligent enough to work that out. Anyway, so Fawzia has the first one, but Anna takes it off her, and instead of Fawzia asking for it back because she knows then Alex will ask it off her and then Leon will ask it of Alex, she just decides let Anna go. I swear to God, Fawzia does these sacrifice things. Honestly, it really irritates me, but Anna's survived. Anyway, in the next round, Leon has the card. Fawzia takes it off him, but Alex sees that, takes it off her, so Alex is out. And we end the episode on Fawzia and Leon. And honestly, I really, really don't want Fawzia to go. I really don't. But that's where we end. There you have it. That was the Traitors episode 4, 5, and 6. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section what your theories are. And if you want this to go on YouTube instead of Instagram or TikTok, wherever you've seen this, let me know. I'm not going to do shorter versions of it because I really can't. There's too much to say in it.